The Texas defensive doldrums are gone, at least for 1 week, but can the Longhorns conquer a house of purple horror? Plus, is it Dak to the future or back to Romo? We'll tell you all this and so much more next on College Crossfire. I guess we'll get into it, guys. Always enthusiastic, unbelievable, hard-nosed.
Roll up the sleeves for this one.
This Dallas team was very overrated from the start, like they always are every year.
The talent there, Kevin Mack, Eric Davis, and Cronin Roach, are maybe three of the most talented guys in the team.
Oh, that's an ugly shirt.
Always a pleasure having you on, guys.
Time to freak out, Reese.
Welcome into your home for live sports debate, talking Texas Longhorns, other sports, so much sports going on this Wednesday in October. I'm Reese Miller, and so glad you're with us. Let's go ahead and meet an exciting panel for tonight. Only one win, or you claim you have 3 wins. I think you have 1, and I'm the host, so that's what matters. So I'm going to say 1 win combined between the 3 of you. So Joe Morris, so glad you're with us. How you doing?
Oh, well, if I were doing any better, just wouldn't be fair to anyone else.
Mark Skull would be proud, but I am not. Mackenzie Palmer, so glad to have you back with us, your second go-round on Crossfire.
I'm here. I'm ready to go.
Excellent, excellent. And Elena Vierra, did I get that right?
No.
No, it's Elena.
There you go.
Elena
There you go.
Vierra. Corrected that one for the parents at home, so we're good. I know they're checking it out. How you doing?
Doing well. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited.
A little nervous? That's all right. Everybody is, but we get into it and we talk some sports. So let's go ahead and do it, guys. After allowing over 500 yards of offense for 3 straight weeks, the Texas defense bounced back against the Cyclones, sacking Iowa State 8 times and holding them to 6 total points. This is a team that averaged close to 38 points its previous 2 games against OSU and Baylor, guys. So is it safe to say this defense is fixed, or is that a bit of an overreaction, Joe?
Well, I would say that part of the defense is fixed. The defensive line looked very good over that game. They got 8 sacks, as you said. Plus, they managed to hold Iowa State to about 2.3 yards per rush, and they got 6 of 9 on 3rd downs. The defense, or the secondary, looked a bit shaky at times, so it's probably still needs some work. Yeah. But overall, it was a huge improvement. And I'm really happy with it.
Definitely an improvement, right? 6 points, a second half shutout. Certainly things to improve on. Rather than 670 yards against OU. Mackenzie, is this defense fixed or not yet?
Definitely improvements we're seeing. The defense was able to dominate the line of scrimmage, stop big plays, and really put pressure on the passer. We saw standouts like Chris Nelson, who led Texas in tackles loss, as well as Nashawn Hughes and Deontay Christmas really showed improvement for defense. I think it's a bit much to say fixed, but I think Texas fans are very happy to see an improved defense team.
Yeah. It may be Iowa State, but again,
exactly,
it's improvement, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
A step forward.
Elena, what do you think?
I have to agree with both of them. The Texas defense has improved immensely since the OU game, and basically all of the issues from the Oklahoma State game are basically fixed. The secondary has put on so much pressure, and like they were saying, standouts like Nashawn Hughes, Chris Nelson, and Brecken Hager led the team with a combined 8 sacks in the Iowa State game, and I think they're on the right track.
Yeah, I think all you guys are kind of on the same page here, so we're giving all you guys a point to start us off. I'm in a good mood. Ease the nerves a little bit, right? You got your first point, first question. So moving right along, improving just like the Texas defense. The word of the day so far, guys. Now, back in 2002, I was in 2nd grade. David Carr was the first overall pick by the Texans in the NFL draft, and that was also the last time Texas won in Manhattan. K-State struggled against Oklahoma this past week, guys, but can the Longhorns win 2 games in a row after losing 3 and break that streak, Mackenzie?
I am definitely looking for an upset for the Longhorns here. I want them to prove that their defense has improved. Only allowing Iowa State 6 points last weekend definitely shows that the Longhorns can hold in the offensive line. Kansas State's offense completely fell apart last weekend against OU, so I think if the Horns can come out on top in the first half, they definitely can pull off a second win.
Yeah, that first half was key. They were, before Iowa State, 0-14 under Charlie Strong when trailing at halftime. Finally
Exactly.
got that monkey off their back, but obviously much better when they lead going into halftime. Elena, what do you think?
I think that if the Longhorns come out fighting in the first half and come out strong with the fighting offense, and they score first, or at least hold or have a good defense, and sorry, I'm stuttering. I'm very nervous. It's okay. If the defense continues to picks up where it left off against a subpar offense, the Kansas State defense also is ranked 119 out of the 128 college football teams, which gives the Longhorns an advantage in that aspect. And the Kansas State Wildcats have also let up about 1,500 yards on their pass defense, which plays right into Shane Buechele's strengths.
Sure, yeah, and what you said about the first half, this offense seems to either get it going in the second half like the last 2 weeks, and the 2 weeks before that they couldn't get it going in the first half. So trying to sort of even that out and get it going in both halves, I think, as well. Joe, what do you think about this weekend facing the Purple Wizard?
It's gonna be a really tough game, I think.
Yeah.
On paper, it seems like it should be a Texas win. Kansas State's like 119th in passing, I think, so you'd say easily the defense would hold them. I don't know. Texas is a pretty bad team on the road.
You mean Kansas State is 119?
Yeah. Texas is pretty bad on the road this year and last year too. So also Kansas State's played Stanford, Tech, and West Virginia all close, all losses, but they were so close. So I think Texas squeaks it out barely though.
Yeah,
barely.
Yeah, I think we're all have a similar feeling. Everybody's on Texas, Joe, but I'm going to give you the point just because I think it is going to be very close, a little nerve-wracking throughout, maybe a little bit ugly, but at the end of the day, I think Texas is just better than Kansas State. Finally breaking that streak and finally getting past Bill Snyder, Joe. So Joe's getting the point, guys. After months of deliberation, proposals, an entire search committee, the Big 12 did, nothing. Commissioner Bob Bowlesby said, it's not an issue on the agenda right now, guys. He also said that it's not a reflection of the teams that applied, but rather a reflection of the teams that are currently in the conference. That being said, what does this mean for the conference and even the future for Texas in the Big 12? Elena, we'll start with you.
This might be a little bit harsh, but I think the Big 12's decision not to expand is essentially a death sentence for the conference.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hot takes, I like it.
You look at teams like A&M and Nebraska who left the Big 12, and now they're in the top 10 and they're doing really well. So I think once teams in the Big 12 see that there's no college football championship game for the conference, it's going to be harder for them to get airtime, and it's going to affect the way that their conference play works.
Yeah, it's a good point. Nebraska is right now number 9 in the country. A&M is 6. Missouri and Colorado have both done good things since leaving the conference as well. But what you said, they will have a championship game next year. How they're going to do it with 2 teams or 10 teams and 2 divisions of 5, we'll see. Joe, what do you think?
God, who runs the Big 12? Brett Favre? Every other week it's like, oh, we're going to add teams. Oh, no, we're not going to add any teams. And now they just decide not to add any teams at all. So I think it's pretty bad on the Big 12's part. It makes them look weak, makes them look indecisive. Not only that, though, but this seems like a team or like a conference with no plan for the long term. The media rights expire in 2025, so that means any team can bolt after that. So Texas and OU probably move to the SEC after that. Better media rights and all that. Yeah. So that probably seals the death for the conference because everyone else is just going to leave after that too.
Wow.
Yeah.
2 sealing the death of the conference already. And we're just saying the same. Mackenzie, what do you think about this whole thing?
I think, of course, they did nothing. Because it's all about the money. What schools will bring money and value into the Big 12? And honestly, the 11 candidates probably wouldn't bring any value into the Big 12. Texas and Oklahoma run the Big 12, and if they have the less smaller teams that they have in the conference, the more money that is in their pockets. So until their contracts run out, they're not going to want to add anyone into their conference. Yeah. But I definitely think that the failure to expand adds an expiration date onto the Big 12. I agree. I can definitely see the Big 12 collapsing in the near future.
Wow. Yeah. So Big 12, the Big 12 Grim Reapers over here
exactly.
for the panel.
Killing it down.
Well, Elena, I like what you said. Pointed out that these teams that have left the Big 12 are doing, quite frankly, better than any current team in the Big 12. Also, several teams, I think, like Houston, BYU, Cincinnati, would be contenders even in the Big 12.
Absolutely.
So I totally don't get it. But first time, 2 points in your first round. So
Ooh.
pretty solid start for the Nerves, and considering everything else, guys, that's going to do it for round one. Up next, is the Cubs curse alive and well, and is it Romo no more for Dallas? Thanks so much for sticking with us. It's the only live sports show shot right here on the University of Texas. Let's take a quick look at our scoreboard. It is 2-1 to 2 right now. Joe Morris and Elena Vierra. Elena Vierra.
It's a lot of syllables.
Like that. It's a lot of syllables, but I'm getting there. You're getting there. You're tied for the lead, Mackenzie. Only 1 point back, so plenty of time to get that going, guys. Let's go ahead and dive into round 2, guys. The Cleveland Indians are moving on to the World Series in the American League, but in the NL, the Cubbies came in looking to break the curse, but couldn't solve Clayton Kershaw or Rich Hill, mustering only 4 hits between the 2 games, guys, on their way to 2 straight losses. Cubs are up, last time I checked, 4-0 right now. But are the favored Cubs into some trouble in this overall series against the Dodgers? Joe, what do you think?
I think there's a real danger of them losing this series. You got Clayton Kershaw, who could play 2 more games. He plays the next game. He could come back for Game 7.
Wow.
Rich Hill's been good, as you've been saying. But not only that, the Cubs' offense has been lackluster, to say the best. The guys they depended on all year, Rizzo, Russell, they're all not performing. They can't get a hit to save their life. Got 2 guys that can hit right now. So if they can't pull it together, they probably won't pull it through. And the only way they could go, though, is to go after their weaker pitchers like Urias and Maeda.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
that's probably the only way they can get out.
Yeah, definitely a top-heavy rotation, right?
Yeah.
For the Dodgers. But Cubs certainly jumping on that tonight. So maybe fighting their way back in. Mackenzie, Cubs' best team in all of baseball the whole season. Last time they were looking up at someone was in April. What do you think about the Cubs' chances here?
I definitely agree with Joe. If their loss last week, last game to the LA Dodgers, put their chances at 40% to winning the series. But I definitely think they stand a good chance if they can get their offense up and get their hitting game up. Their hitting game has just been non-existent the last few games, but they definitely have a chance if they can perform in Game 4.
Yeah, certainly seem to be performing so far. Elena, what do you think about the Cubbies' chances here?
Honestly, in baseball, anything can happen on any given day. But as the Cubs have not been performing offensively, batting a measly 159 against the Dodgers' left-handed, pitching staff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they keep up that, subpar offense, there's no way that they're going to get back into it. But if their offensive, leaders can pick it up and start, executing, then I think they stand a chance, especially with a win tonight. They're up 4-0 right now.
Executing. You must have been going to the Texas press conferences, getting fed some lingo from them. Got to execute.
Do I
execute,
sound like
right?
Charlie Strong?
Yeah. Execute. It's all in execution. If only they can execute.
Exactly.
Real quick, Dodgers or Cubs? Let's go down the
Dodgers.
line. Dodgers.
Dodgers.
Wow.
I would like the Cubs though, but Dodgers.
You think Dodgers win? You think Dodgers win? What do you think?
As long as the Dodgers lose the World Series, I don't care. But I think the Dodgers are probably going to come up.
You
on
guys
top.
all think the Dodgers win? There's no
Unfortunately.
way
For
they
sure.
can hold on. Cubs have been the best team. I almost don't want to give a point just because I don't agree with any of you. Instead, I'll appeal to my crowd for the point and see who they think we should give the point to.
Dodgers-Indians, great series.
Dodgers-Indians, great series. Again, you're all going to get a point because you all did make great points about the Dodgers' ability to perform. Cubs' inability to hit so far. I think the Cubs still come back and win the series, even though I don't want them to, guys. Another week, another outstanding performance by the rookie Dak Prescott. He did throw his first pick, but also tossed 3 touchdowns, outdueling Aaron Rodgers and picking up the win in Lambeau on the way to a 5-1 record for them boys. Speculation is Romo could be ready, not the week after the bye week now, but November 6th against the Browns is sort of the timetable we're looking at. Guys, only Dallas could have this type of controversy when they're this good, but should they stick with Dak or go back to Tony? That's the question, Mackenzie. What do you think?
Well, for the game against the Eagles, they are using Prescott, which I think is fine until Tony Romo is 100% healthy. There's no reason to throw him in when Prescott is doing just fine. And in my opinion, moving the offense better than what Romo has been previously doing. But this does put pressure on Romo's career if Prescott remains a valued player.
So when Romo's healthy, who do you start? When he is healthy.
Exactly. When he's healthy, I feel like they should still use Prescott because he has been moving the offense better than Romo, but I mean, Romo's a Dallas favorite, so who knows?
Yeah. I would also argue that Romo statistically has been better.
Exactly.
Almost in every category.
For sure.
With this team and this
but
offensive
fresh blood
line.
can never be
But
bad.
there is momentum, certainly. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely think that the Cowboys should stick with Prescott. Obviously, something's working with the chemistry of the team. And not to mention, Romo's had, an 8-8 record for the past, 5 years now? So
Actually, they were 12-4 2 years ago, 3-1 last year. Not to mention, I'm not saying which side I'm on. I'll say
We know
but
what
I'm just
side
letting you know let's not forget how good he's been, how good the Cowboys have been the last 19 games with this offensive line and a good running game. It's not like the Cowboys were bad.
No. But it's also time for
I think it's time for a change. Last year in the first 6 games, Romo was 2-4, and now Dax is
Last year,
Dax
Tony
is
Romo
5-0.
was 2-0 and broke his collarbone and missed the next 7 games.
Stay healthy.
Joe doesn't get to
Joe,
go.
what do you think?
Joe doesn't get
I
to go.
think start Mark Sanchez.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Enough said.
You can throw anyone behind that O-line, they still be all right. Just hand the ball off to
Kevin
Zeke.
Moore.
if only Kellen Moore had just been able to stay healthy in training camp, this mess never would have been addressed. I'm gonna go ahead and give Mackenzie the point. And you mentioned this offense is going right now. I do think there's an argument that can be made for not messing up, not the old don't fix what ain't broke. I think this offense is rolling right now. Prescott is playing unbelievable. I think Tony Romo is a better quarterback, and I think they'd be playing even better with him. But I understand your argument, so you're getting the point, guys. Moving on. 1 week from tonight, there will be NBA basketball for us to watch. Good times once again. Golden State is another super team. Cleveland obviously looking to repeat, guys. But quickly, I need your top 5 teams in the NBA 1 week before we really get going. Elena, we'll start with you.
Well, obviously the number 1 are the Warriors.
Yep.
They came off of a record-breaking season, not only breaking the previous NBA record, but Steph Curry shooting 402 three-pointers last season, breaking the previous record. They've got great offense with Klay Thompson and Draymond Green, and now with the addition of Kevin Durant, they're basically unstoppable.
Stacked.
And they've got depth on their bench with Livingston and Verjao and Iguodala when he's not starting. So I think that they're probably going to end up in the finals this year with the number 2 team, the Cavaliers.
Hot take. Hot takes all around.
Yeah.
Who's your 2 through 5?
2 through 5 is the Cavs. Then the Spurs. They're a good team to watch. They've always been pretty solid. The Knicks with Porzingis. And
Wow, the Knicks at 4. That is bold.
yeah, and then
Maybe in 2010.
Yeah. And then the Clippers, with Chris Paul and Blake Griffin.
Okay.
They've always been pretty solid.
Knicks and the Clip Show. I like
Let's
that.
go, Knicks.
Joe, what do you have?
I got the Warriors at number 1 if it's just the regular season.
Right.
So there's no 3-1 leads to blow or anything like that.
Ooh, shots fired.
Wow.
Yeah, they obviously had Durant, so they're the heavy favorites. But I think that left a lot of defensive weaknesses that they have. So they're probably gonna have to sort that out throughout the season. Number 2 got the Cavs. They kept the championship core intact, and they traded Dunleavy they got in Dunleavy, got rid of Dellavedova, better shooter though.
Delly.
Yeah. So they're still gonna compete. They got the Raptors at 3. They kept everyone. They added some defensive depth. So
Like
they got 4. The Clippers, their last chance to win a championship, and so they also added depth to their bench, so they'll be good as well.
Yeah.
And but they are weak at shooting forward because they're starting Luke Richard Mbamute. So at 5, I got the Spurs.
At 5, you get the Spurs.
Yeah,
Wow, that low. Huh?
I would have them higher, but this thing with LaMarcus Aldridge not being happy, that's pretty concerning.
Doesn't seem overblown.
No,
I
not
feel
really.
like it's a little bit
This
overblown.
stuff happens. He's saying he's mad about
think
not
so?
being the first guy. Yeah, that's pretty big.
No. I think he likes winning a lot of games. Mackenzie, what do you think?
I'll be fast here. I agree with the team. Warriors first, Cleveland second. My third pick is going to be Spurs as well. Fourth, I'm thinking the Clippers. And then fifth, the Indiana Pacers.
Wow, the Pacers.
The
I like
Pacers,
that. I like
yes.
that. Yeah, wow. Great stuff all the way around. My favorite team that anybody said was the Raptors. They're young. They continue to get better. I think they brought just about everybody back. You saw glimpses last year of them trying to push. Maybe they can make that next push last year, although I think you're underrating what the Spurs are going to do. We may have been, if it weren't for the Warriors last year, we would have been talking about them setting records. Anyways,
Exactly.
Joe's getting the point, guys. Going to break. Good stuff. We're through with round 2, but do not leave your seat. The hottest of takes are coming up next in Rapid Fire. Welcome back to College Crossfire. It is time for our Rapid Fire segment. Points are now doubled. People can jump in at any time they want to, guys. Just so you guys know how it works. And a quick reminder, let's take a look at the scoreboard. By my count, I've been known to get off a little bit the last couple of weeks, but I believe we have 4-3 in favor of Joe, guys. So really up for grabs. Joe looking for his second win, and you guys both looking for your first wins, guys. Sports Illustrated came out with an article just today on the value of college athletes, specifically college football players, and Texas was on that list. They were number 1 in terms of rating the athlete, guys. Can you guess the amount that Sports Illustrated said was the overall worth in dollar amount? So we're looking for a number here. What was the number each Texas football player was worth?
Wow.
I'm glad none of you have seen the article.
I want to say 25 million, but that's way too much.
25 million. Huh?
That's too much.
Yeah, probably. Let's go ahead and click it down.
Okay,
We do it a little, this is like a Price is Right game.
2 million?
Huh?
2 million?
2 million? Okay. So is that your guess? So
I'm
let's
gonna
go.
say-
I was gonna say
This is like the Price is Right. Joe's got 2 million.
$1.
I was gonna say 2.5 million.
Okay, 2.5.
I'm bringing
Wow.
that way down to
So
1
you're
million.
saying that every
No,
think about what you're saying.
1.5. 1.5.
What is this question?
You're saying that the question is, what is every Texas football player valued at by Sports Illustrated in terms of
Like-
what does Texas make? So basically, it's what does the Texas football program
Oh.
make monetarily, and they
Divided
divide
by-
that up by the football player. So each football player
Oh,
is given
okay.
a value. So
So like
you want to change your answers?
Turkey sandwich.
1.5.
Okay, you got 1.5 million.
700,000.
Okay. Okay.
yeah, I'm with Joe. 1.5 million.
Wow. Really close, actually. $670,000. Yeah, so you're getting the points for that. Really good
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, really nice job. But incredible, right? And those Texas players are of course valued somehow, considering their record and their record recently, as the most valuable football players in the NCAA, guys. So Mackenzie's getting the 2 points, guys. Next question: next week, starting Tuesday, the World Series will begin with the Indians and either the Dodgers or the Cubs. The question is, guys. We've seen so many celebrities, presidents, different athletes throughout the first pitch for the World Series and for baseball games in general. But who would you have? You can pick anybody. Who would you have toss out the first pitch of the World Series?
It's in for Game 1's in Cleveland, right? Or will it be
I
in
believe
the
so,
other
yeah.
one? Okay, if it's in Cleveland, then definitely LeBron. Keep it in the Believeland.
Well,
family.
LeBron, keeping it in Cleveland. That could happen, too. I like that.
Yeah.
50 Cent.
Terrible. First off, it wouldn't even be close, and we've already seen how that works.
I'm like turn around like halfway though, so like he'll like throw it and it'll curve like right over the
kind of
plate.
go
yeah.
right there. It'll be a strike.
Yeah.
He'll
A little
just start
helpful.
off sideways.
Yeah, or like move him over like 20 yards, so he's like
Yeah.
it's like semi close. Yeah.
I like that.
Let's go with Michelle Obama. Has she
yeah.
thrown a pitch before? No.
I don't know. Why would she throw?
Because she's the first lady, and she should be out there throwing it for us.
I'm a little perplexed on the reasoning.
Not to mention,
I have to say, I was, maybe, I guess you could have given away your political opinion based on one of the candidates, but I'm glad we didn't go there.
Yeah.
Joe, 50 Cent's terrible. LeBron would be awesome, and I'm sure he could do like a sick fadeaway or something all the way to home plate. So
Reese Miller for first base.
you're getting the two. No, absolutely not. So speaking of presidents, I'm glad you led me into this question perfectly. Presidential debate going on right now. No matter what we think of either of the candidates, I think we all can agree we could do a write-in vote for someone. We are asking for a write-in vote for an athlete to take over the presidency, considering the two current candidates.
Rob Gronkowski.
Absolutely not.
Everyone gets a brewski.
I like that. I could get on board for Gronk as president. I really could.
I feel like I'm gonna go pretty obvious here. Colin Kaepernick, because he knows what's going on. He's paying attention. He's
Patriotic.
he loves his country.
Do you think he would stand or kneel when he got inaugurated?
When he swears in.
Yeah, they have to like.
I feel like he would stand because he's standing up for his country and trying to make it better.
So you think he would stand when he's inaugurated, or
They have to like
Yes.
knight him.
would
Yeah.
he kneel when he gives his presidential speeches? Or you think, or
Yeah,
or stand?
he'll switch it up every now and then. You know, one standing, one kneeling. Yeah, every.
I like that. I
Every
like
now
that.
and then.
Elena, what do you think?
Madison Bumgarner, man, he's superhuman.
Madison Bumgarner.
He's like a superhuman.
Just because you're a Giants fan, do we have any other reasoning behind it?
0.25 or 0.025 ERA in the 2014 season.
But why? I need a reason he
He's
needs to be
shooting
president.
himself and he stands his
Something
ground.
something
know.
beyond pitching that would get him worthy in the White House.
He's
Just
not,
his-
he's not apologetic to
pitching.
be who he is.
No.
He's not
No.
a politician.
No Tim Tebow, that was the answer. I figured I would get
Why Tim
Not from
Tebow?
us.
Gosh.
Is that your choice?
No, I would go
Romo.
I would go Romo. I would go Tony Romo for sure.
We know.
Injured or not, he gets to,
Exactly.
maybe ODB. ODB would do some crazy. OBJ, excuse me. Wow, I think Gronk for presidency is getting in there. I'm not sure where that would take our country,
Great
but
place.
I do think it would be a very interesting place. So you do have time for some rapid fire, Joe. Go ahead and take it away. It's all yours. You got plenty of FaceTime after your Rob Gronkowski, won it for you.
I didn't think I'd actually win, so
How about that? 2 in a row.
hey,
Wait, he won?
brings up to 4 wins now. And hey, come on. That's it.
Good job, Joe.
Good job, Joe. Proud of you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got a real good Reese Miller impression. Hey guys, I'm Reese Miller. We're gonna catch Chris Fair.
Can I take the win away from him? Like,
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
My producers need to talk to me and see if I can actually take the win away from him, guys. Wow.
Well, we're out of
Yeah.
time. We're out of time now, guys. See you next
What
week.
what
sure
what a
to follow
what a
us
dumpster fire! What a dumpster fire of a show, guys. Very quickly, score predictions. We've got about 30 seconds here. You say Texas wins.
3-2.
Texas wins. Texas wins, guys. That's going to do it for us here. Thank you always as joining us. It is TSTV Sports at TSTV Sports, Mondays at 9:30, Wednesdays at 9. Big thanks to everyone in Studio Master Control and you for watching your night with us. Until next week, I'm Reese Miller. Good night.